All right, Niall Gibbons, new man at Tourism Ireland, tough number. How do you feel about taking over this challenging job?
I feel terrific. It's been a great honour to work with Tourism Ireland for the last 7 years, and I have to say it's a great privilege to be appointed the second Chief Executive of Tourism Ireland. I'm conscious that I've got big shoes to fill. I think Paul O'Toole did a terrific job in the first 7 years, and it was great to work with him. And I think I'm ready and willing now to work with the industry to take on the challenges in the years ahead.
Great. In what we describe as the good old days, I suppose now, fellas tended to get a little bit of a honeymoon when they took over new positions like this. But in your first couple of days, you've seen Delta Airlines cut back on some winter services on the North Atlantic, and today some announcements from Aer Lingus. That must be a disappointing start.
It's very disappointing. I mean, it's very, very tough out there at the moment. I mean, the impending announcement today from Aer Lingus, the announcements from Delta, we've had announcements in relation to the swine flu. The statistics out this week as well aren't terribly encouraging. It's a very, very tough time out there for the industry. I would preface that as well with saying that, I mean, I started in this job in Tourism Ireland 1 month after 9/11, and we really didn't know what direction we were going to take or how it was going to go, and it was very, very tough. And I think we just have to hold our nerve to a large extent, and there's never been a more important time to work together to come through these issues.
I suppose to a considerable degree we're victims really of the global economic recession. Tell me, do you feel there's much we can do to actually influence the number of visitors who come to Ireland, or do we just have to sit out this recession, wait till markets recover to start growth again?
Yeah, I think it's important to point out that, you know, we're not the only victim. I mean, every industry is suffering at the moment, and it's very, very tough out there for everybody. But from a Tourism Ireland perspective, I think there's never been a more important time for us to be out there in the marketplace. There's no doubt, as far as I'm concerned, that we have to be far more tactical in our focus moving forward in the months and years ahead. I think it's important to have our brand out there. We have to be able to differentiate ourselves from other products that are on the shelf. But there's no doubt that we have to ensure that our competitiveness remains at the top of the agenda as well.
Yes, and the subject of e-marketing, I mean, it's greatly debated and more seems to be central to success in the tourism and travel business. What's your own take on that? Are we doing enough in this area, or is it an area you will be paying more attention to and perhaps expanding?
Yeah, we've expanded quite well in the last number of years. I mean, we devote probably about 25% of our resources now in the e-marketing area. But the other thing that I'm conscious of is that this is a people business at the end of the day, you know, and it requires people to make it work. So, I mean, e-marketing is just one channel. It's a very important channel. I mean, over 70% of people who come here book some element of their holidays online. And there's no doubt that between e-marketing and low-fare airlines, there's been a huge expansion in tourism in the last number of years. But I think it's important to remember as well that, you know, when the people actually arrive here, they want to have an experience meeting Irish people. That is the one proposition that really does set us apart from other destinations. So e-marketing certainly has its place. We have to ensure that we're benchmarking ourselves against the competitors. We have to make sure that our website is attractive, it's fresh, and when people come into it, that they get a good experience that will encourage them to stay there, stay on the pages longer, not to bounce out of the site. But it's important to bear in mind that that's one channel. I do see it probably attracting more investment in years ahead, but it's only one part of the overall mix.
Sure. Well, Niall, the reaction in the industry to your appointment has been very favourable. People are delighted. You're well known, of course, within the industry, and there's certainly been a response that a good man is taking over, will hit the ground running, and that no ground will be lost in these difficult times that we're trading through. But finally, is there any message you would like to send to the industry?
Well, there's no doubt. I mean, times are really, really tough, and just looking at the announcements this week, things are going to get a little bit tougher before they get better. I mean, there are initial indications maybe that things are bottoming out in our markets overseas, particularly in North America, which is very important from a revenue perspective, and perhaps next year in GB. But the industry can be reassured that we will give absolutely 100%. I think we have a great team here in Tourism Ireland, and there's never been a more important time to work together. I think we're absolutely assured of our 100% support and working closely together to ensure that we keep the Ireland message at the forefront of consumers' minds in the years ahead.